Let's roll the Diddy intro.
I'm a savage. Whatever I want, I'm going to get. Whatever I want, I have to get.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
I'm a savage. Whatever I want, I'm going to get. Whatever I want, I have to get.
Can't stop.
Won't stop. Okay, y'all. Let's get into this shit with Terrence Howard, right? Because people was arguing with me over the weekend about this. We're going to listen. I'm going to like stop him so that y'all can hear. Because a lot of y'all on TikTok, I didn't hear misogyny in what he said. Of course you didn't. You can't hear it. You don't know what it is. The fuck?
But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing.
Okay, let's stop there. What you are talking about is people that have decided they're going to allow the predator to take it so that they can then get what they want in the end. And then they realize what they gave up was so much more than they thought it was. That is because they're being coerced into it. It's not something that they really want to do, first of all, which is why they regret it after. And also, I feel like it's a person being assaulted. Even if you think you're agreeing to it, being coerced into the situation is still a form of manipulation, control, and then ending in a physical sexual assault. You have been traumatized. You didn't lose your manhood, never to be seen or heard of again. No, you were traumatized because you were assaulted. I need for everybody to understand. So everybody that I think he's just talking from a straight man's perspective. That is the thing that we want straight men to get out of your fucking feelings about everything concerning your prototype. Stop being so defensive and so emotionally immature every time somebody says something to you that makes you feel uncomfortable. This statement that he made is problematic. You do not lose your manhood because somebody assaulted you. You were traumatized, and now you have to heal from the traumatization of somebody assaulting you. You were assaulted. Somebody harmed you. And I think Terrence Howard and a lot of men like him, when you can say that something has affected your manhood, it pedestalizes it. It makes it seem as if when it's done to you somehow, it's so much worse than when it's done to everybody else. That's how y'all feel. That's how y'all feel. You feel like because men aren't supposed to be attracted to other men, if a man comes on to you, that is harassment. It makes you feel uncomfortable. But if you do the same thing to a woman because you're attracted to a woman and you feel like women are supposed to be attracted to you or to men, then when you have that same behavior of coercion and pressure with a woman, you don't perceive it the same. That's why people felt so good when they find out that the people that assault children, when they go to jail, somebody bigger than them assaults them. That's why. Because you're doing something to somebody that you could not stomach, that you couldn't deal with. That's the bitch assness about all of it, is that you are doing something to somebody that you would never want anybody doing to you. And so when Terrence Howard starts off his statement with saying that someone is giving up their manhood when they are coerced into a situation, that really ends up with them having sex they don't want to have, which makes them feel dirty. And also because of the way the person assaulted them, it makes them feel dirty. Also, the way y'all think about sex makes people think about sex as if alone the act of it is dirty, not how it's done. To me, it's the same way as preparing food. If you prepare it right, it should be healthy. Everybody wanted to eat it. They enjoyed it. It was great. But when you don't prepare the food properly, you can poison people. Like, you can kill them. You can destroy them.
Get punked out and pimped out by some over greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. What does being a man look like? Because to be very clear, success. A lot of people view manhood as financial success. I think he's throwing something out that feels real to y'all, but if you were actually to break down what he's saying, there are problems all over the place.
So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone.
So let's be very clear. Coercing people into sex and people exploring sex are two different things. I, as an individual, you as an individual, have every right to have consensual, explorative, experimental sex, if that's what we want to do. What is not okay is somebody coercing us, threatening us, or forcing us to have a sexual relationship that we don't want to have. Then we have that, and of course we feel bad from it. We might also then feel like, am I attracted to men if I'm a man? Am I attracted to women if I'm a woman? Because I was sexually aroused, because my body responded, even though my emotions were not connected, because the assault made me disassociate, which is to separate how I feel inside of myself from my body so that the assault won't kill me. That is literally how your body and your mind deals with assault. You go somewhere else in here, so whatever they're doing to your body won't affect you in the same manner. That's how your body responds to it. Disassociates. What Terrence is saying sounds like a judgment of people. It sounds like I'm mad that I did not get the amount of success that I should have gotten because somebody was willing to fuck for a role. Somebody was willing to suck dick for this. And so they got the role over me. And so now I'm conflating people that have consensual sexual relationships with people that are in hierarchies with them to get opportunities. Now I'm conflating that with someone with power coercing and forcing people to have sex with them as a power move. He's blending those two things together. He's conflating them as if they're the same thing. And I really don't like it. Because it makes it seem as if anybody that is experiencing sexual fluidity in a way that is not coerced, in a way that is not forced on them by some assault, then, as soon as you start getting like that, then you giving up your manhood. As soon as you having sex with a man, now you giving up your manhood. And I think that's a toxic way of thinking. I think it's a toxic way of thinking because then it convinces men who are gay that they're not men. And what's the worst thing you can be in this society if you're a man? A woman, not a man. And even gay men have to be successful and be able to walk around with their heads held high in this system. Because even a gay man doesn't want to have sex with everybody. A woman doesn't want to have sex with everybody. A lot of you niggas have a hard time with understanding that. Just because somebody is sexual, enjoys sex, may have wanted a certain type of sex with a certain person, it does not mean that they now are free for everybody walking. That's not how that works. Prostitutes don't even fuck for free. And y'all walk around acting as if any sign of sexuality in somebody means it's okay to assault them.
You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Man, I mean, you know, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that. They
can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter.
So you do understand that what happened to Justin Bieber is Justin Bieber probably being assaulted by adults when he was a child. And so you're now speaking of him in the same vein as someone that is choosing to sell themselves for a music career. A child cannot enter into an agreement with an adult. Like, not to be in a sexual relationship. Even legally, everything is by proxy of a parent, y'all. A child can't agree that they're going to have a sexual relationship with Diddy for a music career. The fuck is going on?
No matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card.
You gave up your man card. Somebody assaulted you. You gave up your man card. You know, this shit was way more toxic than I thought it was. I knew it was toxic when I first listened to it, but now I feel even more so like what he said is some real fucked up ass shit.
You
with that hat on and a hoodie and a goddamn, you know, hobosexual sweater on.
Need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get.
And this is how he spoke of women. This is how he spoke of women. Women who go and trade their bodies to get the goal, to get the role, to get the money. Because, you know, gold diggers. It is a judgment. It's not empathy for a system that takes advantage of people that are in dire straits. It's not talked about like that. He's talking about it as if these are people that have made decisions to sell their soul to the devil, and then they eventually are broken and wonder why. Not that these women have been coerced and assaulted, drugged. Because if somebody was really agreeing to give up their coochie for a career, why did they have to be drugged? I need for y'all to answer that for me.
Get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything.
And I think for men, because I remember your boy said the same thing, Anthony Mackie. You know, we accomplish all these things and we get here and it means nothing. Honestly, I think that's a projection of how some of these men feel when they finally get to the top of wherever they thought they would be and they still aren't happy inside. And that's because we live in a vapid, shallow world that doesn't really require people to do any real introspection, only as a performance, not as a real introspective look at oneself to be happy no matter what the circumstances of your life is. Like, you're not going to be happy every day, but being happy or loving yourself, having appreciation for who you are as a person, once you understand that, that stays with you even on the days that are hard, even on the days when you want to give up. You won't give up on yourself because you love yourself, because you respect yourself. You respect what you've been through. You respect what you put into something. And you love yourself. So even if one thing doesn't work out, you'll go and do another one because you recognize it's a journey. And you just figuring your way out of it, just keeping loving yourself first and being kind to yourself, like keeping that in the forefront of your mind. What he is talking about is the emptiness that a lot of people carry with them because they're taught that everything outside of themselves is going to fulfill them internally. And then it doesn't. and you think that something is so wrong with you, and it's like, no, nothing's wrong with you. But this life is not a race to a finish line type of situation. And that's the way we're taught. We're not taught to just enjoy your life, enjoy this journey, explore, you know what I mean? Like, have fun, enjoy it, be smart, think ahead, you know what I'm saying? But also enjoy this life. We're not taught that. We're taught to scratch and survive good times and claw our way to the top. Like, we're not taught to enjoy the journey of this life. So you don't know what it's like to be fulfilled, and you've kind of convinced yourself and let the world convince you that accomplishing things will fulfill you, and you accomplish those things and it doesn't feel as fulfilling. This also felt like shade to Halle Berry. I don't know why, but it's like, you get your Oscar and it's like, but you're not the same person. And that felt like a judgment of a woman who has gotten to a point in her life where she's good with who she is, but because you don't like it, because she doesn't center you, she lost something that she shouldn't have lost along the way. That's what this sounded like. This sounded like a passive aggressive judgment. For everybody that was in my fucking comments on TikTok talking about, he was just talking about his experience. Most of what we are hearing is a projection of what he feels other people are going through, not his personal experience. Not yet.
If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process, I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
The aggression is necessary, and you don't trade that in no matter what. That sounds like somebody that feels like if they lose a fight, they've lost life. Like, if they stop being an asshole, if they hear somebody else out, if they change their perspective, if they give in any way to another person, they've lost their manhood in some way. Y'all, this is very toxic. This is very misogynistic. Very, 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 very.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music, and he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers coming to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back.
You heard that, y'all? That's the part that I had a problem with, because regardless of how you felt like he was centering women at some point in this conversation, what he said in that moment is, you looking at me like I'm a woman. And what I was trying to get everybody to understand is, no, not like a woman, like prey. He's looking at you like you're prey, like you're something to be devoured. And you don't like it, but you look at women that way. That's why you said he looked at you like you were a woman. And what a woman would like for you to understand is, we don't like being looked at like that either. We may not have a dick to claim manhood with, but we have our safety and our self-respect and our sense of agency and autonomy. And you niggas stample and stump on that every day, all day, B. I went out this past weekend and I was reminded so often how we as women have to be so conscious of the men around us, because we have to protect ourselves, and they're always ready to impose themselves. They are always so willing to impose themselves. A man bought me and my homegirl drinks. We did not ask for it. We did not want. But it was tequila that I like, so I took the shot. Then he proceeded to follow us to the club across the street. We thought he would just go in there and, just be in there. No, he sat in front of us the entire night. He was trying to holler at my friend, of course. And it was just like, we wanted to be left alone. We wanted to have a good time, but we were basically coerced into having this man follow us to the club we were going to simply because he saw us in a restaurant across the street. And we were trying to, you can't be too rude to these niggas because you don't know what the fuck going on. But like at no point did he take, well, y'all have a good night. I'm gonna go and have a good time. Y'all do the same. Take my number. Like not Mac at all, y'all. And he bought us those first 2 shots. When we got to the bar, to the next place we were going to, the nigga just sat in front of us and didn't buy anything. And I was like, I'm gonna go get me and my homegirl the drinks that I know we like. So I got up because he was just sitting there talking and talking. I was tired. I got up and I was like, I went to go to the bar and get the drinks. And when I came back, I went ahead and just got him the exact same thing that he ordered for us at the restaurant. You could tell when I came down and I handed my friend her drink, he sat back because he was preparing to go in on me because he bought us drinks and I didn't get him one, but I did. But I was shocked. You know why? Because everything you do is so you can get something out of somebody that was not even fucking looking at you. You want my attention, nigga. I don't want yours. Girl, this is my homegirl. Okay? And we had a good time because we always have a good time. And the thing we have in common is how we flow about like uncomfortable situations. We don't act a fool. We don't get loud. We swerve shit. we swerve. We the queens of looking past people, not making eye contact with niggas. Listen. But sometimes you just really be having a good time, caught off guard, thinking that people are going to be adults, going to a club and just go and have a good time. You a grown adult man walking around by yourself, and now you sitting in front of us talking to us all fucking night, blocking niggas who actually got money from coming and buying drinks for my friend and me by proxy. Please take the shot and leave us the fuck alone. I was hoping that since I got him the shot, he would feel like, oh, I got one of my shots back. Like, what? And let's not talk about the niggas that get drunk everywhere they go and they all leaning on you and putting their arm on you and touching you. And then when you like express discomfort or aggravation, now something wrong with you. Like, oh my God. The entitlement that y'all have is insane. So Terrence can suck a dick. Manhood my fucking ass.
It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room.
Because there's always a bigger nigga though, man. There's always a bigger nigga and you talking that shit. But the truth of the matter is, it seemed like if Diddy really wanted you for real, if he was willing to risk it, it would have happened. Everybody wasn't agreeing. People was going to studio sessions, to meetings, drinking water, and ending up passed out.
And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man.
What is playing gay roles and all of that got to do with anything? Because we all know gay men that if they felt disrespected, they will punch a straight man in the fucking mouth. And this is what we talk about when we say y'all have toxic masculinity, y'all have misogyny. Because what are you even talking about? You being somebody that is not okay with somebody impressing themselves upon you does not make you any bigger of a man than the woman that has to placate so the nigga will leave her alone gradually. Just because we play this game different ways does not mean you have more integrity than the woman that don't want to fuck this nigga either, but just smiles and excuses herself. You're no different than somebody that doesn't want to be like, you're not different from a woman that tells a man no that's trying to press her. You're no different. The fuck are you talking about?
Don't do that shit, because the man card means everything.
To me, it sounds like you would probably want to have sex with a man, but you feel like you shouldn't, because having sex with a man means something is wrong with you. It means you're not a man. It means you're less than a man. And as soon as you start having sex with men, oh my God, then you're down there assaulting people with baby oil all over the place. Yeah, no, it doesn't have to be that dire. It doesn't have to go down that road. It really doesn't. There's a lot of wholesome gay niggas out here. Not a lot, because men are nasty, but essentially, like,
but when you give up your manhood,
and everybody in the comments thinking that this nigga said something so deep. Think he said something so deep. If you are a straight man, I would hope that you wouldn't just let somebody try to have sex with you. But if you are a straight man and somebody overpower you because they got guns and a whole bunch of other niggas in the room, what you supposed to do? I have so many questions about the mindset that y'all put on people who are really victims of situations. You don't see an issue in a person that's preying on somebody. You see an issue in the way people respond to being preyed on. So if a person acquiesces to the pressure of somebody, trying to fuck them, they might have wanted to fuck him, just didn't want it to go down how it went down. You saying that, oh, all of a sudden that was okay because you wanted to fuck him? That's what I'm saying, y'all. It's like in their mind, they think because somebody may have wanted to have sex with somebody, it makes it okay for that person to assault them. That's the way you think. The way he just explained that tells me that that's the way he thinks. But then when women respond to niggas like this, y'all call us aggressive. Y'all say we got a bad attitude. Y'all call us bitches. You think he taking shots at Terry Crews? I don't know. But I often feel like just because people feel like violence may not be the right answer in that moment, I don't think it makes them any less of a man. I just feel like Terry Crews is one of them bitch ass dudes that's just like not the greatest example of a man that sued but didn't knock a nigga out. Because essentially, had he knocked him out, he would then be able to sue this man, ruin his career. Like, if you think about it ahead, you'll see if you punch him in the face, you could still end up in jail defending your ass from somebody. You see what I'm saying? Terrence has that pretty boy syndrome. People have tried him. Absolutely. What I told y'all about light-skinned niggas and how they act crazy because of the way people view light-complected men. They think they soft. They think they easily, maneuvered and all of that type of shit. And that's predatory and that's wrong. You don't do that to people because a motherfucker can be gay and still not want to fuck you. Leave me alone. Ugh. But yeah, y'all keep thinking that Terrence Howard said some deep shit. Go ahead. I don't give a fuck.